Hi everyone. I will introduce to you today the platform Realities. So the Borderland is supposed to be the land between dreams and realities, and we have been implementing more platforms into this planning of Borderland to enable easier communication but also an overview. And talk has been great in discussions, in getting things planned, people involved, but there's somehow something missing, which is the overall overview of how far in planning the Borderland actually is, and a list or a way to contact or connect people that are taking responsibilities or tasks at the Borderland without having to check all the talk threads. So this is where realities come into place. I will walk you through it slowly. First of all, you have to go to realities.theborderland.se, and here you can see in the first page two columns that are needs and responsibilities. I will first explain needs to you. So needs are concepts that the Borderland, and by the Borderland I mean Borderlings that have been interacting and setting up this platform, have identified as something that the Borderland needs for it to happen and to take place. So these concepts are listed very nicely alphabetically. And I will just show you a couple of examples. I think the board is quite an easy example to go with. The board is a need because the Borderland as association needs a legal entity to be representative in the real world for it to happen. So we need the board. I will show you a different one. We need conflict resolution. We need conflict resolution because it is a vital part of our governance structure in case an advice process escalates into a conflict. So as you can see, there's not only needs, there's also responsibilities, and the responsibilities are linked to the needs. So if you, for example, click in different needs, you see that the responsibilities change. So the responsibilities are, again, a bit more of concepts. It's not a to-do list of different tasks to be done. It's more like roles or simply responsibilities that need to be taken on by someone for the Borderland to fulfill its needs. And I will show you the example of cars. So you see the need cars has two responsibilities. We need one person to take care of the car gate and one person to take care of parking. It can also be the same person, but it's two different responsibilities because they can be divided up by they can be divided up, so two different people can do those responsibilities. So if you go, for example, to car gate, you see here that the description changes. So you have the responsibility car gate, which in Borderland is called the threshold. We also wanted to put the Borderland names so that people can find the clown police, the sanctuary, the threshold, and so on. So the guide and the realizer can be one and the same person. If, for example, the person that was the guide last year decides to take on the responsibility again, the guide needs to be, or if you create a new responsibility, you have to have a guide, an email address or a user as guide. And if you have but you don't have to have a realizer as guide. That's not mandatory for realities to set up the responsibility. Then you have a description. We decided to put 3 important questions up for the start for it to have a structure, which are: what is the responsibility? A description about what the responsibility is with a couple of links. It might be links to Facebook groups, not so many, talks a lot. And then the next one is who could realize it? Anyone. Some things might need someone, for example, with medical knowledge, with a driver's license, an electrician, something. And the last one is what tasks are involved. Here you actually have something similar to a to-do list. So we tried to be as detailed as possible so not more additional tasks come up as people decide to take on the responsibilities. But of course, there might be something missing. So yeah, the descriptions are changeable. So if you're taking on a responsibility and you notice that their description is wrong or that there's tasks missing, please change them. So this was filled in with the best of our knowledge with the 3 previous postmortems and reading through different talk threads and asking people that either took responsibilities in the past or were knowledgeable to the topics about their responsibilities. But please change them. If you change them, you can do it by first logging in. So this is a remark. If you haven't logged into Realities, you have to create an account. It's not yet linked to the membership platform. So you make an account and then you're able to log in with the email you made an account with, and you can change Realities, needs and texts and descriptions on the different things happening or that you're involved with, or add links to discussions that are relevant to the topics. So once you logged in, you can edit the responsibilities, the description, and who is the guide and the realizer by clicking the edit button. Then, adding guide and realizer. So both need to be people registered on the Realities platform. Then you can change the description and format it with the same format, the same formatting rules as Lumio has to make it more readable. I really recommend it. It's nice. It's easier to read than plain text. Then you have here just a remark on which need is fulfilled by the respective responsibility. You can change it. And here you can add links to discussions and references. But we have also added a lot of links in the descriptions already to be more clear, so you can additionally add it to that. And then you can add a dependency, and this is going to be implemented later. It's not very important now. It's just a really nice feature that it will have in the future, so you can ignore it for now. So this is it from the responsibilities and the needs. I will just show you what happens if something is not fulfilled. As I told you, the guide of needs and responsibilities always needs to be someone. So in some cases, because the default needs an account to be linked to the guide, we put someone or some user. It means it's not taken. And the realizer does not have to be taken. So if you see, for example, in email communication, there's some responsibility backend, which is send out follow-ups to the registration questionnaire. So someone needs, for the need email communication to be fulfilled, someone needs to take on this responsibility. And the backend responsibilities add up here on the needs. So you see one time a backend responsibility. You have, for example, community welfare with 6 backend responsibilities. So this is it for now. Realities has this great potential to map out what needs to be done for Borderland to happen, and it's also a great way to spread power, knowledge, and context, because you must consider that before Realities was set up, it means in all 7 previous Borderland years, all this knowledge was basically stored in the heads of a handful of people, which is great, and I think it's awesome that it works so far, but I don't think it will work like that in the future regarding how we are growing each year. So welcome to Realities, get involved, check out what is needed. I think it was never so clear and so easy to get involved as it is now. Thank you. Have a nice weekend.